You are listening to the Fringe Radio Network. FringeRadioNetwork.com.
You're listening to Earth Oddity, a weekly odyssey into all the oddity planet Earth has to offer. And now, serving it up are Christopher Tiny Sullivan and John Long.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Earth Oddity, broadcasting live from the original Earth Oddity studio. In case it sounds a little different, we've been relegated back to our normal, or well, I wouldn't say normal, but our original place.
Stupid praise band.
Yeah, right. I mean, goodness. Why do they have to practice? But whatever. We're here. We're here to do you another show, a Super Bowl week show, really.
Yeah.
So, get ready for the Super Bowl. We got the...
we have two, not one.
Right.
We have two undeserving teams in the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, so we have the LA Rams, formerly known as the St. Louis Rams, formerly known as the LA Rams. And the New England Patriots again. Right. So
surprise, surprise.
Are you a Patriot? Do you like anti-Patriots?
A little bit. Yeah. I feel like I kind of
Patriot fatigue.
I dislike the Patriots for the same reason I love Alabama.
I got you.
So if I was from New England, I'm sure I would love them.
Well, I don't like Tom Brady.
Right.
Because, and I put this on Facebook. In 1999, but really it was 2000 was when it was played, but the 1999 Orange Bowl, we played Michigan, and I had spent 3 days in the Everglades of Florida with 80,000 of my closest friends, doing illegal things and listening to rock and roll music at a festival, and driving home, listening to that game on the radio, and we're passing by. And Tom Brady torched us. He threw for like 400 and something yards. And anyways, Alabama missed a field goal too that pretty much cost the game.
Shocking.
Right.
That's about as shocking as the Pats going to the Super Bowl.
Right. Like if you're not an Alabama fan, you think our kicking woes have only been during Nick Saban. But no, it's really been like my entire life. We've had two good kickers, maybe Philip Dole and Michael Proctor and Van Tiffin. So that's three. Lee Tiffin was pretty good, but he was blowing Arkansas.
I was about to say, he was pretty good, but he would miss an extra point here and again, too.
Yeah. Well, he blew,
his stats.
I would say he blew the Arkansas game, but he missed some kicks against Arkansas. Shout out to Todd, by the way. Got a story coming from you in a little bit. I'm sure you remember that game. One of the few times Arkansas has beat Alabama. Sorry. But, So anyways, I'm not a Tom Brady fan, but I like a dynasty. I like teams that are good at just bust people. That's why I'm an Alabama fan. I went to school there and I grew up in Alabama. But I like that. I don't hate the Patriots, but I don't like Tom Brady. So if somebody's going to lose, I would hope it'd be Tom Brady.
Right.
Just so he feels a little bit of that, like hungover heartbreak I had on a January day in the year 2000. So, But anyways, I got a couple of Florida stories this week.
Yeah, we got a bunch of good stories.
Yeah, we got a couple Super Bowl stories.
But I was about to say, since we're talking about the NFL,
let's go
straight into it.
Do you want to go ahead and do yours, or do you want me to go ahead and do mine?
Well, since we were talking about Tom Brady, why don't we just launch into that? Because if I'm not mistaken, wasn't there a scientist who scientifically proved that Tom Brady is a cheater?
Right. Well, the scientist was from Kentucky, which we know is the cradle of all science. That's where the Creation Museum is, right? That's where all science originates in Kentucky.
All true science.
Yeah, all true science from an Australian guy who happens to live in Kentucky. It's very bizarre. But anyways, and maybe got a huge tax write-off from the government and some tax breaks to do this whole thing. But whatever. I don't want to get into that. But anyways, a 10-year-old Kentucky boy's science fair project declares Tom Brady is a cheater. So a 10-year-old scientifically spiked the football on Tom Brady. What a great opening line.
I know.
Ace Davis. All right. Whoa.
A great name.
What an alpha name right there. Ace Davis. You tell me that kid's not dominating on the playground. A sixth grader at Mill Creek Elementary School in Lexington. I'm completely intimidated by Ace Davis. Let's just go ahead and say that. Engineered a winning science fair project by answering the question that fans of 31 NFL teams already know the answer to. Is Tom Brady a cheater?
A cheater.
Davis and his family inflated footballs at various levels of pressure per square inch. That's PSI for you laymen out there, non-scientists. Mm-hmm. And found that they threw them with greater accuracy at lower measures. Tom Brady's a cheater and don't trust anybody, Ace told NBC News. The boy's father, Christopher Davis, boasted about his son's science fair win on Facebook, but didn't hide the family's comical disdain for Brady, admitting hater level 100. The Patriots were found guilty of doctoring footballs, thus losing $1 million in future draft picks. Tom Brady is indeed a cheater, Davis scrawled at the end of his 3-panel science fair project, complete with graphs and charts. And it's a very impressive little 3-panel display he has. Brady, the 5-time Super Bowl champion and 1-time Orange Bowl champion, quarterback for the New England Patriots, was suspended for 4 games in the 2016 season after the league concluded he and team employees had arranged to use footballs at PSI levels below NFL rules. Mm-hmm. The accusations came after the Patriots' 45-7 victory in the AFC title game over Indianapolis in January 2015.
Well, you know why that was the score was so stacked?
Why?
It was because he was deflating the footballs.
True. And apparently, Indianapolis' defense didn't show up either. Yeah. Which I guess
details.
I guess Peyton was still on the Colts then too. That's another hated quarterback of me too.
Yeah.
And I just want to go on record and just let everybody know Peyton Manning is not funny. And we should try to stop making him funny because he's not funny.
He was funny one time.
Yeah, one time, like 20 years ago in that Saturday Night Live skit where he's like pegging kids with a football. That's the only time he's ever been funny.
Yeah.
So let's just stop trying to make him funny, people, please. Anyways, that led to an NFL probe, and most people probably already know the answer. That uncovered 2 Patriot employees regularly discussing how Brady likes footballs to be underinflated so he can get a better grip and throw them more accurately. The Deflategate scandal hasn't done much to sidetrack Brady's career. Exactly. He was suspended too and came back and just dominated the league. The 41-year-old signal caller has led the Patriots back to the Super Bowl to be played February 3rd in Atlanta against the LA Rams. So, yeah, it didn't really put a hitch in his giddy up at all. But kudos to this kid for winning the science fair and doing a scientific study to prove that it definitely helps with accuracy. And probably in the cold weather, like he was saying, Brady, likes to grip it better. Mm-hmm. But, what you going to do? The Patriots are going to win anyways. They're extreme cheaters. So, and a lot of people like to accuse Alabama of cheating, and I would just like to go ahead and go on record and say we do, and we're better at it than your team is. And your team should get better at cheating if you want to compete with us, because we're buying recruits cars and giving their parents jobs and moving their family from Hawaii to Central Alabama. So, nothing shady about any of all of that. It's all above board. And somehow an 18-year-old kid can drive a $40,000 car. That's fine. It's normal. So yeah, we cheat too, but I don't care because
the rules don't say anything about paying parents, does it?
I don't think so. I don't know. But I don't have I don't attach any kind of moral relevance to football.
Right.
To me, let's just all get out there. We're basically letting grown men slam themselves into each other for 3 hours at a time. So let's not try to act like cheating is the worst thing in the world.
Well, I have felt for a long time that we need 2 separate leagues. We need one that's pure and you play by the rules, and we need one where it's just anything goes.
That's right. Steroids
all in there, bionics, genetic modification, whatever.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah.
Because I was a fan of Super Baseball 2020 when I was a little kid. Did you ever play that game?
I did not.
On NES?
No, I did not. Could you have bionics in that?
Yes.
Or was it just all steroids like baseball was when you were a kid?
You had steroid, and then you had like robots on the team.
Oh, okay.
And you could get into like the jump zone and jump up and catch a home run. And it was fun.
I don't mind performance enhancing drugs. It doesn't bother
Wish I could afford some.
Yeah, I need some. But really, like, I want like the performance enhancing drug that doesn't require me to do anything either. Like, I would like to take a shot and immediately have abs. I don't want to have to go do a bunch of crunches at the gym and all that stuff. So I'm waiting, science, Kentucky kid, let's get on that one next. On it. Yeah, let's make that your next science fair project.
Oh man. Well, our next story here. Louisiana senator rips NFL refs over no call in the Saints-Rams game.
Oh, wow.
Okay, now
they're a little salty.
Just
a little upset.
Have you seen the play?
Yes, I've seen the play.
It was pathetic.
It was a bad call.
It was a very bad call. Yes. And at first there were T-shirts that were made up.
Yeah.
And then there were like voodoo dolls being sold. Did you see those?
Of course. New Orleans.
It was like a voodoo doll wearing a referee shirt. And then like Sandra Bullock, there was the blindfold over the eyes,
Did you see Todd Gurley, who's a running back for the Rams, sent or put a picture on his Instagram of him, and it was like Photoshop. It looked like he was trading his jersey with a ref, after the game. Have you seen that?
No.
Well, Mike Francesa, who's like a really famous like talk radio football guy, and he's like maybe 70.
Right.
Completely thought it was real and went on like a 3-minute diatribe about how you can't do that and everything else. And it's so precious. Please, if you're listening to this, go look it up, because he's
a victim of fake news.
Yes, right. He's a victim of fake news. But like at some point, you just gotta regulate yourself. Like you become too old for the internet. It'll happen to all of us one day, right. And you just have to be like, well, I'm done with the internet now, because you can't trust anything that's on it. But anyways, go ahead. So the refs blew a huge call, right?
And now it has gone to the next level. Now there has been a speech given from the Senate floor Friday about this call.
This Louisiana Senate, right?
Yes, Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy took NFL referees to task during a speech on the Senate floor Friday, chastising the league over what was widely viewed as a blown call in the playoff game between the New Orleans Saints and the Los Angeles Rams.
Wow.
During Sunday's game, Rams defensive back, I probably don't need to read all that. We all saw the call. Okay, in a floor speech Friday, Cassidy implored the NFL to explain how referees were scored for their performance in the NFC Championship game, while characterizing the missed call as one of the most consequential in the league's history.
Yeah.
What happened, in my belief, and the belief of many, was the most blatant and consequential blown call in NFL history, Cassidy said. Saints fans would like to have an accountability for the referees, he said. Did people look into the conflicts of interest? It's been pointed out that the referee closest to the play who missed the call lives in Los Angeles, and he is a diehard Rams fan.
Of course, yeah. That's how it always is. That's like all the refs, like went to Alabama too.
Facts.
Yeah, right. Definitely facts. And the SEC office is in Birmingham, so of course we get all the calls. Right. Yes.
Football's more than a game. It's part of our culture. And I would say the NFL has a responsibility to the millions of fans across the country to ensure the integrity of the game and to answer these questions and perhaps a few others, Cassidy said.
Wait a minute. Like if you're New Orleans, out of all the cities in the entire United States, the one city that has the most culture is probably New Orleans. I mean, jazz, blues, voodoo. You got Cajuns, you got Creoles, you got cuisine.
You got cannibalism.
I mean, you got it all down there. Robberies, murder, everything. I would not put football at the top of what your city's culture is. I know you're hurt right now, but come on.
The senator's objections follow an official complaint sent to the league's commissioner by Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards.
Oh, yeah, JBE. That's JBE.
He pushed the league to implement rules that would prevent a future game from ending in a similarly contested outcome. So he's not really offering a solution. He's just telling them to fix it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, which is
and I feel like there's ridiculous. A little touch of, I just don't want this to happen to anybody else. Exactly, I don't want anyone else to have to suffer the way the city of New Orleans had to suffer. I mean, this is so much worse than Katrina, y'all.
Yeah, right. So much worse when our entire city was flooded. Yeah, I mean, that's just wild. I feel like people in Louisiana don't deal with loss well, you know?
No.
I mean, just based off of LSU fans and now Saints fans.
Here's a quote here. By missing the obvious, blatant, and intentional penalty at the end of the game, the referees in Sunday's game undermined that expectation and unfortunately were allowed to determine the winner, Edwards wrote to the NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. This team deserves better, Edwards wrote. Saints fans deserve better. The city of New Orleans and the state of Louisiana deserve better.
I mean, out of all the issues to bring to the Senate floor, this is the one.
So,
well, and like we were discussing before the show, if this were to happen to Alabama, there would be a outcry amongst the people of the same proportion. There would be a politician probably make a speech. But I don't agree with any of that. I mean, sometimes you get screwed and you just have to deal with it. So just deal with it and move on with your life. That's just the way I look at it. But then I was thinking too, while you were reading the little resolution there, like forever the Saints were horrible.
Right.
I mean, forever. Until Drew Brees, they were horrible, really. And so, you know, I guess once you get a taste of that sweet little winning, it just, you know, you're fine. Because I will say, when we lost to Clemson in the first playoff matchup we had, and they ran that like pick play where Hunter Renfrow, you know, like caught the ball and all that. Well, Alabama fans were really upset, of course.
Right.
But we've won a whole lot, so we didn't get to this level
at
the no call. And there was a lot of whining online, but if you can't take online as real life, you know, the worst segment of society is online. So, we didn't buy billboards or make, you know, flow charts showing how, you know, this person is connected to this person and connected to this person who's connected to the head of officials or whatever. So maybe it's just that they're just not used to winning, and now that they've lost, it's just like, it's kind of like new money, you know, like you get new money and you waste it on all kind of stupid stuff and put like Yeti stickers on your truck and everything. And now if you're a Saints fan, you're just like, man, it hurts. But
I do hate it for him, though.
I mean, I don't hate it for him. It's football, you know? I don't hate it for him
I'm
at all.
going to go home. I'm going to echo the governor's sentiment here. I'm going to write the league commissioner letter myself.
Well, first of all, almost every Saints fan, at least in the state of Louisiana, is an LSU fan, right?
Right.
So I'm rooting for the Rams to win anyways. All right. Just to pile on the pain on them. So,
well, I'm rooting for the Rams too, but only because Tom Brady's on the other team.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I do like Jared Goff. He's cool. And I like Todd Gurley. I think Mark Barron's still on the Saints too, right? Alabama legend. Yeah. Mark Barron. Really my favorite free safety of all time. You know, but yeah. Yeah, so I'm rooting for the Rams. Of course, we'll be at church because we're Baptists and they won't cancel church for nothing. So we'll miss the first half. Sorry, guys. We love Jesus and y'all don't. And, you know, can't take a break from Sunday night's Awanas to watch football games. So anyways.
It's not Awana no more,
That's
though.
Right, yeah. Bible drills or whatever
Bible
it is.
skills drills and thrills.
Right. Yeah, and thrills. Yes.
Very thrilling.
What's more exciting than flipping through the Bible for an 8-year-old kid? So I'm just kidding. If anybody at church listens to this, I'm just kidding. Totally kidding about it, you know. Totally.
Hurry, next story.
So let's move on here. I mentioned Todd earlier. Todd's been really great. He sent us a lot of stories. A real good friend of mine from Arkansas fan, the biggest Arkansas fan.
Yeah, Woo Pig.
Yeah, Woo Pig. Really, I actually like Arkansas, and I liked Arkansas before it. And I like
all SEC teams, but
I do too. I don't even hate Auburn, you know?
I was raised to hate Auburn.
I'm not that type of dude, you know? My family, you know, my mom's side of the family farms and all that. Uh-huh. You know, Auburn does a lot to help them, and a lot of their people went there. All my friends from high school went there. And if I wasn't dating Deidre, I would have went to Auburn too. Just to go
it's a great university.
Absolutely,
they just have a trash football program.
So I don't hate Auburn. I'm going on the record to say I don't hate Auburn. I want to beat them when we play, but I want to beat Arkansas when we play too, and I want to beat everybody when we play.
But I want to beat Auburn more.
Well, I like to beat Auburn more just so you don't have to hear them all, year. Which I know for them, it's just as obnoxious when we win. I see our fans on Facebook. I know how we are. There's a certain segment of like normal Alabama fans, and then there's just like the people that are crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, like super crazy. Can't even,
Crazy
just
enough to go poison some trees.
Yeah, go poison a tree. They'll shoot people. I mean, it's just
Their
wild.
son even.
Yeah, their son. Right. Yeah, you better get passionate about Bama or you're going to catch a bullet. All right. So I know, but I'm saying I like everybody. Like Arkansas. Probably, I would say maybe my second favorite SEC team. Because, when Belima got there, or what was his name? Belima? Is that the stomach thing where you make yourself throw up?
That's bulimia.
Okay, all right. I thought he was going to turn him into what I like in football, which is just pounding the ball and like sucking the will to live out of people.
Right.
And it just didn't work out for him. I guess he couldn't get the players
He
to
needs
do
bigger
it.
players.
Yeah, I don't know. It's steroids. I mean, come on. Like, look at Alabama. Come on. Get some steroids. Let's make it happen. Anyway, so Todd sent this story to us, and it's a Florida man story. We all are fond of Florida man.
Yes. Especially Beverly Joyce.
Oh, yeah. This may be some of her kinfolks. This comes to us from Newsweek. Florida man finds grenade while magnet fishing, but drives to Taco Bell before calling cops, sparking an evacuation. Which I gotta say, a Crunch Wrap Supreme, sometimes takes precedence over everything else in life.
I know if I was working at the Taco Bell and the guy come in there and saying something about a grenade, I would be like, bathroom's over there, buddy.
Right.
That would be my first thought.
No, you're going to blow up the bathroom. Happens multiple times every day in here. No big deal, man. Just lock the door behind you. I should probably explain what magnet fishing is in case we don't have our listeners who don't know.
Yeah.
You basically get a really powerful magnet tied on a rope and drop it underwater and see what you pull up. Mm-hmm. So, a Florida man caused an evacuation at a Taco Bell in Ocala this weekend after telling cops he drove there with a hand grenade he found while magnet fishing. In social media updates, officials from Ocala Police Department advised citizens to avoid the area after it was verified that the device was an authentic World War II hand grenade.
Wow.
Yeah, have trouble saying World War.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, World War. It appeared that the man, who has not been identified by law enforcement, had waited until arriving at the popular fast food restaurant before reporting his discovery to authorities. The department said bomb squad experts had to be called onto the scene to remove the grenade, which they fortunately did so without incident. The Taco Bell closed for about an hour. That's tough if you're the Taco Bell owner to lose an hour of sales. Like I hope this got ordered like $35 because everything's like $1 there anyways.
Yeah. I hope this guy ordered his food before he made the call.
Yeah,
because you're not going to get your food.
Well, I imagine that's
they got all the bomb squad there.
Excuse me.
You okay?
Oh, I get a little choked up thinking about Taco Bell. That's probably what his thought process was, right? Well, I found this thing. I should tell the law, but I'm also really hungry.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go to Taco Bell and I'll call the law from there. What does it matter if I call them here or there?
Right.
The police Twitter account wrote, be advised that Taco Bell on East Silver Springs Boulevard has been evacuated following the report of an explosive device located in a vehicle on premises. It continued at 5:01 p.m. A caller informed dispatchers that he had found a hand grenade while magnet fishing in Ocklawahala. I guess that's how you say it. A lot of strange Seminole names down in Florida. He put it in his trunk and he drove to Taco Bell. Marion County Sheriff's Department bomb squad has responded and ensures everyone's safety. Please avoid the area. So it says here, several questioned why he waited until going to Taco Bell to inform the police. That's a logical question to ask.
I think I know, but why? Why did he?
He says, but why? The last thing I'd do with a grenade is put it in my trunk and drive around, one Facebook user noted. And another one said, why does stuff like this only happen in Florida? But it was not immediately clear where the grenade was discovered by the man. On social media, the police uploaded multiple images of the device alongside other rusty objects. Fortunately, in this case, no one was injured by the hand grenade, said the police, and it was disposed of properly. but there's no indication why he went to Taco Bell. And it says not the first time that the unique pastime of magnet fishing has brought up strange things. In August of last year, a UK family discovered a stash of guns while hunting in a river. And in October 2018, YouTuber Gareth Breyer, are you familiar with Gareth Breyer?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
Of course.
I follow his channel religiously. Reeled in an antique pistol, axe head, and a knife. So apparently magnet fishing seems to be a way to come up with some pretty cool, dangerous items if you needed them. I think if you pull all that out in the UK, though, you'd have to go to jail immediately, right?
Yeah.
Like you can only carry a spoon for defense over there, right?
Well, they took up all the knives. So.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah. But yeah, I mean, the dude just had to be hungry. I guarantee you, I don't know what your typical magnet fisherman looks like, the demographic he fits in or anything. But in my mind, he's out in his little flat bottom boat or whatever, magnet fishing, smoking a couple of joints, kicking back a couple of brews, pulls out a grenade. It's like, man, I need to get this somewhere, but I sure am hungry. I'm just going to swing by the Taco Bell. Sitting in the Taco Bell, waiting on his, whatever, Mexican pizza, he decides, I should probably call the law about this. It's a grenade. It may go off. Right. And then he called the law, and that's what happened. So,
if I found a grenade, do you think he could have gotten in trouble if he would have left it?
I don't know.
Call law enforcement and be like, look, I found a grenade.
It's
I'm
right
going to
here.
leave it right down here by the landing. And I'm going to go
leave it over here by his playground.
Y'all come find it. You can't miss it.
I don't know. To me, if I found a grenade, it would take everything I had not to pull the pin and throw it just to see what happened.
Especially if I was in a boat.
Yeah, right.
I want to pull that thing and drop it so
out
fast.
in the water somewhere. And maybe pull in a couple of fish. We got supper tonight, baby. Yeah. I would just be like, wow, that's more powerful than I expected it to be. Now I have shrapnel all in my body. Yeah, I don't know. But I kind of want to start magnet fishing now after reading that. That's something that's up my alley. I have a metal detector, but it's Thomas's technically, but I found a horseshoe in my backyard, which is kind of strange.
All right.
Yeah, and a couple nails and stuff, but I've never seriously
Never found
done
something
it.
cool.
Yeah.
You never found lost pirate treasure?
None of that. Apparently the pirates stayed away from Alabama, or at least northern Alabama, or wherever we are, west central Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I hadn't found anything super cool. But I do want to, in my fantasy world that's in my head, I would like to find a conquistador helmet or something. How cool would that be, though?
It would be cool.
That? Super cool. I would tell no one about it.
I think we talked about this on text message. I got a really good friend that I work with named Kevin, and he thinks that because, just a little ways from here is Moundville, which at one time was a huge, thriving area.
The Big Apple of the Mississippian era.
It was.
Yes.
And all those people are gone. By the time white settlers came, all that stuff was abandoned.
Right.
And he thinks DeSoto killed them all when he come through.
Well, yeah, you did tell me that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think that's true. I think
I have no idea.
I think they were gone before DeSoto got here.
They may be.
Yeah.
But
probably dispersed into smaller tribes, which eventually became the what we call the 5 civilized tribes.
I suppose DeSoto could have given them all syphilis.
Yeah, could have.
That's what happened to the Aztecs.
Yeah. I mean,
only it wasn't DeSoto; it was Cortez and his bunch.
Right? Yeah. DeSoto, they have the Battle of Malbilla, which was a huge battle, and we don't know where that was, but we know it happened in Alabama.
Yeah.
To where DeSoto was basically going around taking Indians chief, and hostage. And one guy was like, oh, well, I got all my supplies down here in this village, buddy. Let's just go on down there. And he shows up and the Indians are waiting to ambush him. And of course, the Spanish had supreme firepower and killed them all.
Yeah.
But no one knows where that battle happened. But we should try to find. People have been searching for it forever.
Fire up the metal detector.
Yeah, right. Imagine what you could find. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Maybe magnet fishing. I wonder
if we could rig up a metal detector to the bottom of a boat and use that to find where we need to drop the magnet.
Oh, that's a solid idea right there. I like that.
Yeah.
Just hang it off the front like a trolling motor. Yeah, that got to work.
If it's sensitive enough.
Yeah, it's got to work, right? There's no way we electrocute ourselves. It's got to work.
Oh, we're putting electronics in water all the time.
Yeah, true.
I mean, iPhones are waterproof now.
Right. Have you ever seen somebody fish with an old-timey telephone?
No.
It's illegal.
I have heard of it.
It's
It is
illegal.
very illegal.
Yeah. So I haven't seen it before, but I've dreamed it.
I had a stepdad who had a friend that would do that.
Yeah.
He would call it calling the cat.
Yeah, calling
the cats up.
That's right. Exactly.
He'd stick it there, meow, meow, meow.
Yes.
Call them right up to the boat.
That's right. They'll come right on up to the boat. It makes for a quick day fishing. I would say that.
It does.
The quick day. Quick day. Yeah.
Oh, don't do that though.
No, kids. That's illegal and it's immoral.
And you probably can't find an old-timey telephone either. So.
I know where one's at.
Oh, do you?
I do. I know where one's at.
We'll talk later. Okay. Our next story here is the most Canadian story that we have ever talked about on this podcast.
Sorry.
So shout out to our Canadian listeners.
Yeah,
I know there's a few of
huge.
you.
I think we're the #1 podcast in Canada. And from the research that I've seen.
And if we're not, we're fixing to be.
Yeah, right.
Our next story here. An egregious offense. Canada battles Norway for the tallest moose statue.
Okay.
And I just want all our Canadian listeners to know, no offense to Norway listeners, but we're rooting for y'all.
Yeah, yeah. They're like our cousins up there,
Yeah.
you know?
Because Norway's a bunch of hosers.
That's right. Bunch of hosers. Sorry.
After Norway's... I'm going to try to say this.
Come on. Bring it. Bring it.
After Norway's Storlingen stole...
Perfect.
They stole Mac the Moose's place as the world's tallest. A Canadian city hopes to stick it to Oslo by increasing their statue's size.
Okay.
For 3 decades, the Canadian city of Moose Jaw took pride in its status as home of the world's largest moose statue.
Yeah.
Standing at a majestic 10 meters tall, Mac the Moose has weathered brutal winters, graffiti, and even the inglorious loss of his jaw.
Oh.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
His recognition was so great that in 2013, he was named the city's most popular celebrity, Mac the Moose.
Okay.
But status and renown can be fleeting. In 2015, Norway responded with its own moose sculpture, Storlingen, or Big Elk, a glitzy stainless steel bull erected with the explicit aim of surpassing Mac's height and stealing his place in the record books.
Wow.
Now, however, Canadians are fighting back after 4 years.
Take a little bit of time.
Yeah. I mean, we don't do anything quick down here either.
No, that's right. Yeah.
After a pair of comedians called Norway statue an egregious offense and pleaded with Moose Jaw residents to restore the city's stolen glory.
Nice.
You are a city famous around the world for the glorious name of Moose Jaw, Justin Reeves told residents in a video posted to Facebook. And everyone that comes by knows that this should be the world's tallest moose. Standing in front of a forlorn Mac, Reeves and colleague Greg Moore implored the residents to act quickly by adding 31 centimeters to Mac to stick it to Oslo.
Okay.
The city's mayor, Fraser Tolmie, answered the call to arms. You may not know this, but it's a personal for me. I'm start over. You may not know this, but it's personal for me, he said in a Facebook video in which he divulged that the moose was named after his wife's great uncle.
Oh, wow.
So I guess his wife's great uncle was named Mac.
Yeah.
Mac the Moose was the tallest in the world, and the people of Norway have taken that from us. I'm not going to stand for it.
Wow.
The Norwegian moose, which stands midway between Oslo and Trondheim, measures a full 30 centimeters taller than Mac, and Store Evedal, the Norwegian municipality where it stands, has shown little appetite for backing away from the fight. We're not letting this one go. Not a chance. We're going to do whatever we can to make sure this is the world's tallest moose or biggest moose in the future as well, said Linda Heinrichsen.
Oh, yeah.
Store Evil's deputy mayor in a video posted to Facebook. Staff in the municipality have said that their moose, with the artist's permission, could be doubled in size if needed to a full 20 meters.
Wow. It's like super petty.
I know.
Now, isn't your wife's family, aren't they like of Norwegian descent?
Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Yeah,
okay.
so-
All right. That's all the same to me.
Yeah.
All the same. Okay.
It says here, the Norwegians purposefully built a moose bigger than ours, and we're going to be dignified and we're going to win, told the National Post on Thursday. Reeves and Moore have set up a GoFundMe page to help hire an engineer to increase Mac's size, hoping to raise $50,000.
Wow.
So far, proposals include increasing the size of his antlers and putting a helmet on top of him.
Helmet. I like that.
They don't want a nose statue. They just want to modify the one that they got.
So you can't build up the base, I guess. That would be the easy thing to do.
You would think.
But maybe it has to be like,
well, it's got to be heavy, so.
Yeah, but like, you can get a crane.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But maybe it's just got to be this actual statue itself. Like you don't count the base into it. I don't know. My wife told me size doesn't matter, so I don't know. No, I have no idea how all that works.
It says that this is not the first time Mac has required intervention. In 2007, the statue was repaired at the cost of $30,000 after holes caused by vandalism and neglect opened up its jaw.
Oh, it's tough.
Increasingly created more headaches for Moose Jaw residents. Heinrichsen said she was hoping to crowdfund for. Wow, this is not written correctly. Let's see. She said she was open to crowdfunding for their sculpture, but the Norwegians were waiting to see Canadian plans for enlarging their moose. This isn't the first time Canadians have been in a battle about an oversized work of public art. For 2 decades, the city of Duncan in British Columbia has feuded with the U.S. town of Eveleth, Minnesota, over which is home to the world's largest hockey stick.
Oh,
so
nice. I feel like this one you got to take too for Canada.
Yeah.
Of course, all the U.S. teams win the Stanley Cup now, so maybe it is ours.
Residents of Eveleth argue, they argue that their stick, erected in 1995, is the world's largest, but in 2008, Guinness World Records sided with Canada, handing the title to Duncan.
Oh.
The Minnesota town continues to fight, arguing that theirs is a real hockey stick, whereas the Canadian version is merely a sculpture. So,
I see.
To this day, they still call it the world's largest freestanding hockey stick. The New Brunswick town of Shadiac, home of the outsized concrete sculpture of a lobster, was probably asking for trouble when they named their tourist attraction the world's largest lobster. In a surprise to few, it was also overtaken in 2015 by Rosetown, Australia. Their contribution, only 10% larger, was named Big Lobster. So
like everyone's just like,
everybody wants the biggest something.
They're like coming in and swiping all of Canada's glory. That's kind of mean. I don't like that. I'll side with Canada on this. So there's got to be an easy way to do this, though. I feel like you just need to scrap it, but do a whole new one
Start
big
over.
that no one would ever want to attempt it. I mean, you have it so big like cars are driving underneath it and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
That's what you got to do. So
have it on its hind legs, like it's
stand it
rearing
up.
back.
That's another good one. I don't know if moose do that. Do they? You know, like a horse does? Surely they can.
I mean, yeah.
I'm not familiar. We don't have any moose down here. If
No.
we did, we would kill them all because that's just what we do. but yeah, I don't know that much about them. My cousin Todd does.
If there's like a leaf that's a little bit too high for it, don't you think it would rear up and try to get it?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or what about when they're trying to make little mooses?
That's a very good point.
So, you know.
I figure the other moose just gets down on his knees, right?
I don't know how
that works either. They're not Baptists because they would only be missionary. So
let me Google that real quick.
Well, image search them first, just for my enjoyment.
Oh, never mind. It's blocked. We're on the church's Wi-Fi.
Church
here.
Wi-Fi. All right, I'm about to take this down a bad road, so let's just stop right here, okay? Before we have like children learning more about animal husbandry than they should. All right, so I'm going to switch gears to another Florida story.
Yes.
A Florida police officer, this was posted in our Facebook group, by the way. If you're listening, you're not part of our Facebook group, come and join us.
Yeah.
A lot of shenanigans are going on in there. I'm way funnier online, too, than I am on podcasts. So, anyways, Florida police officer ran over 2 people lying in the road watching the eclipse, police say. So did you get into all the super blood wolf thing? I totally wasn't.
I went out and saw it.
Oh, yeah?
It was glorious.
Well, John Hagee told me the Lord was coming back, so I was reading my Bible. Oh.
I've been burned before, so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Every one of them is some sort of like prophecy thing, you know? I'm just like, I don't know anymore. So, yeah, I didn't even look at it.
I mean, I love Jesus and I want to be here to greet him when he comes back, but I have eaten so much leftover guacamole and so much leftover dip that I quit making it.
I got you. Well, to me, and I think I've pointed this out before, like, the worst thing to me ever would be to die and get to heaven. And like, as soon as I get up into heaven, Jesus is like, all right, guys, we're going back to get them. And you're like, man, I missed out on all of that. You know, I mean, I know that's not what our thought process would be, but like, what a lame thing to be to happen. You're like, man, I missed it all. Golly. So yeah. Anyways, this comes from West Palm Beach, Florida. A Florida police department says an officer ran over 2 people who were lying in a dark roadway to watch Sunday night's lunar eclipse. Now, there's a whole other thing. I don't know how an eclipse happens since our Earth is flat, but it says in a statement to the Palm Beach Post, West Palm Beach police said the man and the woman were treated at a hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. Which is strange. Usually if the police get a hold of you, it's pretty bad. Yeah. But police said around 11:30 p.m. at the height of the eclipse, the officer was patrolling in a park and driving around 5 miles per hour when his vehicle struck the pair. Which if it's coming at 5 miles per hour, can you not get out of the way?
Who would have known that lying in a road
was dangerous?
You could get run over by a car.
Exactly. There's some culpability on the couple's part. Like the officer gets suspended, by the way. But
well, I don't know. Maybe when he was driving in his car, maybe he was trying to look up in the sky too. And that's why he didn't see him.
Have you ever seen inside of a police car? There's like laptop computers and like GPS, and we'll get a ticket if we're holding our phone. They're trying to pass a law now, but you got a police officer like riding down the road, like typing in a Google search with one hand and like operating the car with the other, and that's totally cool.
And a shotgun up in the back glass.
Shotgun in the back glass in a high-speed pursuit. And here I can't even like switch to a different podcast while I'm driving without getting a ticket. So, but anyways, the statement said the man and the woman lived nearby, and because the park was extremely dark, officials believed they were trying to watch the eclipse when they were run over.
I gotta be honest, I totally get why they're wanting to watch the eclipse.
Yeah.
And it was cold that night, by the way.
Yeah, that's something you don't want to get out in the grass and be even colder.
I cannot think of a worse place
in the middle of the street
watch the eclipse than laying down in the road. I mean, I don't know, maybe a volcano.
Yeah,
maybe that would be worse.
It's probably bad, yeah.
But dear goodness,
right. That's
what were you thinking? What'd you think was going to happen?
I have no idea. I mean, but also, the officer's coming at 5 miles per hour. Like, unless you were around a blind corner or something, you should be able to get out of the way. It's not like it was too fast. People drive faster down the street in front of my house now, and none of my kids have gotten ran over.
Right.
So, anyways, the officer was placed on administrative leave, and police said the man and the woman were both 24 years old. Their names were not released. So, really short article here, but it's still bizarre that you would choose to lay in the middle of the street. But also that an officer driving that slow with headlights, by the way, surely he had his headlights on, didn't see 2 people laying in the road.
Well, even if not, would you not have like heard the car coming?
Yeah,
I mean, it's not like lunar eclipses make a lot of noise.
Right, I know. And cop cars are generally loud. They got like a super big alternator on it to power all the electronics they got going on, like, computers and, Nintendo Power Gloves and everything else they got in there. So what's the deal? I just feel like something else is going on. That's just, stay woke. Maybe the girl was this police officer's boyfriend or something, or, a girlfriend.
I don't know.
Or maybe the guy was the police officer's boyfriend. He's a little jealous.
Well, even if they weren't like watching the eclipse and they were maybe doing something different.
Yeah, little moose action.
I can still not think of a worse place than in the road.
Yeah, it looks exciting, you know. A little element of excitement to it. Yeah, it's like leaving the bedroom door unlocked. You never know. See what happens. Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that I hope they weren't seriously injured. I think they were okay.
Yeah,
Didn't say they were
like
okay.
It.
So
probably like if he's going 5 miles per hour, the car like hit him and wouldn't even roll over him or something. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know how it happens. It sounds very bizarre on both sides. Like, don't lay in the middle of the street, but also, police officer, let's pay attention to the road.
If I was the police officer, I would be mad.
Yeah.
I would be so mad at those two idiots laying in the road like that.
Can you imagine being him and having to call that in? Like, dispatch, I've ran over 2 people.
They totally had it coming, by the way.
Were they committing a crime? No, they hadn't robbed anybody.
No. Were they committing a crime? Jaywalking.
We got your car at maybe doing 5 miles per hour. How did this happen? Oh, they just kind of jumped right out in front of me. It was all bang, bang. That's a tough one to call into the department. You gotta go meet with the chief or whatever about it. I feel sorry for that dude. Not really. You ran over 2 people laying in the road. The people laying in the road are at fault too. Everyone's at fault. There's no one right in this scenario. No. You know? I mean, if you're doing 65, maybe I can understand it. Oh, these people, they crept up on me way quicker than I thought. But you're doing 5 miles per hour. That's basically your car's not moving. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I can walk faster than 5 miles per hour.
If you could sum this up in one word, it'd be Florida.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Beverly may be related to these people too. Sorry.
I don't know.
I don't either.
Well, anyway, have you been aware of, and like I heard earlier, you know, I'm sure that the global elite have been doing this for years.
Oh, yes.
But for some reason, if you're elderly and you get like, you know, a blood transfusion of young blood, it really does benefit you medically. And medical scientists really aren't sure why that happens, but it's a legit thing.
Yeah. Well, I have a question before you get into this about blood transfusions.
Yes.
Because I don't understand. I mean, this is just a hypothetical. Let's say I wanted to get all of my blood replaced with all of your blood, you know, right? Like I want to be taller or something, right? Well,
I don't think it works that way, but go on.
Yeah. But, would all my blood then have all your DNA in it? Like if I were to commit a crime and leave blood on the scene, would they like trace it back to you?
Oh man.
Or does it like somehow change once it's inside of you?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
because we
need someone to investigate that.
I was about to say, I've been donating blood since I was a kid, or not a kid, but since I was 18.
Yeah. I don't donate blood
because you don't want to get a crime pinned on you.
That's right. That's exactly right. I already got a record. I don't need anything else.
or next time you should maybe just use that as an excuse. Or you say, "Hey, that was my blood, but it was from somebody else, Your Honor. I was a donor."
This is off the subject, but not really off the subject. So when Hudson was having his heart surgery, the blood donor lady, you know, they get you when you're at the hospital. You're waiting on your precious child's in there having open heart surgery, and they're like, "Hey, you know, if you're interested in donating blood, we're taking blood right down the hall. We always need blood and everything." And I'm like, "No, ma'am, I'm not comfortable doing that," you know. And she kept hitting me up with it. And finally, of course, I don't have this, but I just like right out loud in front of the whole weight room was like, "Well, I have hepatitis C." Like her face turned like super white. It's the only way I could get her to leave me alone. Like I'm not leaving the waiting room on my son who like got his chest cracked open and he's on a bypass machine to go give blood. Okay, I'm sorry. You know, I know there's a need and everything, and maybe I'll do it later. But right now, my kid's having surgery. So yeah.
In her defense, you won't do it later.
No, I won't. I will not. But that's because my only phobia is needles.
Right.
I hate needles. I'm scared of needles. I'll pick up a snake any day. Because that's what I always tell the nurses when they're like, "Oh, you're afraid of needles? You're a grown man afraid?" I'm like, "I will pick up a snake. Bring a snake in here. I will pick it up right now. Will you do that?" You know? I'm like, okay, I just don't like needles.
I'd be like, "No, but I'll get a shot."
Right. I'm like, well, that's good for you. We all have our phobias.
We all have let's not phobia shame here. Okay.
Shame.
All right. I don't like needles. It's one of the reasons why I don't go to the doctor, but I did have a TB skin test this week. Everyone would be happy to know I don't have tuberculosis.
Awesome.
So, yeah. I was kind of hoping I would.
Really?
Because I don't know anybody who has it. But I would like Doc Holliday in Tombstone. You know, he's like the coolest dude in that movie.
He really is.
Yeah. Like coughing up blood, trying to sell people couches. That'd be awesome. Anyways.
Anyway, back to the story. For $8,000, Omahans can now get a young person's blood pumped into their veins. So I wonder why they're discriminating against the other places.
Right, only in Omaha.
Why only in Omaha?
Well, and what if I, as like a 20-year-old, want to get an 8-year-old's blood pumped in my veins? Is that possible? Can we just swap blood?
Probably not.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
You'd have to have parental consent.
Yeah. All right, what happened to my story?
Uh-oh.
Maybe we're not going to talk about this.
Well, let's just keep talking about how I'm afraid of needles. All right, because I'm not ashamed to be afraid of needles. You know, I'll get every shot I'm supposed to get, but I don't like getting them. And I'm not ashamed to say that. And they had to do that whole, like, the TB thing, which the last one I had, they used to put a little disc on you and, like, scratch your skin. But now they, like, actually inject you, like, right underneath the skin with a little bit of it.
Oh, snap. You got to pay.
You got to pay to read?
Maybe.
What kind of Mickey Mouse operation is that?
Let me see if I can get it on my phone.
Has the people, well, first of all.
How do they know? I've looked at this twice.
Well, you know, net neutrality or whatever, when it got repealed, I thought we would already be getting charged for everything on the internet, according to what people told me on Facebook. You know, like
I tell you what, man, my Netflix is not.
It's not the same.
I mean, I don't want to point fingers, but it don't load as quickly as it used to.
Okay. All right. Maybe that's what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have Netflix. I have someone else's Netflix, but I don't have Netflix. And it's not yours. And I never watch it anyways, so. Can't find it?
Hold on one second. They can't be the only news outlet that's talked about this.
It's wild. The government's got you. But who's charging for news anymore on the internet anyways? Like, what kind of antiquated system is that? I mean, even like the Tuscaloosa News figured out that was a wrong business model because everyone would just be like, no, I'm not doing it. I can get news other places for free. And those places will make money on banner ads and stuff.
Well, here we go. Okay. Scratch all that other.
Yeah, forget all that.
That last news service, they're not real. They're fake news.
Yeah, fake news.
We're not going to talk to them. We're not going to broadcast their news articles on this podcast.
That's right.
For free.
For free. They don't deserve it.
No. Our next story comes from BusinessInsider.com.
Okay.
A controversial startup that charges $8,000 to fill your veins with young blood now claims to be up and running in 5 cities across the U.S.
Wow. 5 cities.
5 cities.
See, that other article only stated Omaha.
I know.
See, they're no good.
To Jesse Karsmazin, a startup founder and Stanford Medical School graduate, blood is the next big government-approved drug. Roughly 3 years ago, Karamazin launched Ambrosia, a startup that fills the veins of older people with blood from younger donors, hoping the procedure would help conquer aging by rejuvenating the body's organs. As Business Insider previously reported, there's little to no evidence to suggest that this would work. So, This company is now up and running. Karsmazin told Business Insider on Wednesday. Ambrosia recently revamped its website with a list of clinic locations and is now accepting payments for the procedure via PayPal. 2 options are listed: 1 liter of young blood for $8,000 or 2 liters for $12,000. So that's a deal right there.
Yeah. $12,000.
Well, you got to go for the large.
You said the name of the company was Ambrosia?
It is.
That's like a fruit salad ladies bring to like a potluck dinner.
Well, now, it's also that was like the stuff that you would drink in Olympia to become a god.
All right.
So.
Well, I'm not up on my Greek mythology.
Yeah.
I worship the true God. Okay, whatever.
So before it was a fruit salad, it was
telling me in like
it was a deity drink that would make you immortal.
Are you telling me in like ancient, Israel, they weren't making ambrosia salad for like an after temple dinner on the grounds or something? I don't believe that. Okay, don't believe it.
That was started by the Greeks.
Okay, all right.
Anyway. In the fall, Karmazin, who's not a licensed medical practitioner, told Business Insider that he planned to open the first ambrosia clinic in New York City by the end of the year.
Wow.
That didn't happen. Instead, he said the sites where customers can get the procedure included Los Angeles, San Francisco, Tampa, Florida, Omaha, Nebraska, and Houston, Texas.
Okay.
In 2017, Ambrosia enrolled people in a clinical trial designed to find out what happens when the veins of adults are filled with the blood from younger people. While the results of that study have not yet been made public, Karmazin told Business Insider in September that they were really positive.
Oh, sure.
So it's all going according to plan.
Here, come on down and pay $12,000.
There's no scientific evidence to suggest that the treatments could help anyone, and several experts who spoke to Business Insider have raised red flags. But because the Food and Drug Administration has approved blood transfusions, Ambrosia's approach has been able to continue as an off-label treatment. There appears to be significant interest. A week after putting up its first website in September, the company received roughly 100 inquiries. Can you say that word?
Inquiries.
Yes. About how to get the treatment. David Calavera, Ambrosia's chief operating officer at the time, told Business Insider in the fall that led to the creation of a waiting list. In January, Cavalier told Business Insider he'd left Ambrosia, leaving Karmazin as the company's only public eye. Before departing from Ambrosia, Cavalier worked with Karmazin to scout several potential clinic locations in New York and organize talks with potential investors.
Wow.
Says here that because blood transfusions are already approved by the federal regulators, Ambrosia does not need to demonstrate that its treatment carries significant benefits before offering it to its customers. So could be awesome, could not be, but they don't have to show that it is.
Yeah.
As of September, the company has infused close to 150 people, ranging in age from 35 to 92, with the blood of younger donors. Of those, 81 participated in its clinical trial.
Okay.
So basically, you can get 1 liter for $8,000. You can get 12 liters for $12,000. No, you can get 2 liters.
Yeah.
For $12,000.
Well, I mean, that's a $4,000 saving right there.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't get the 2 liter package, you're big frugal for no reason.
And it hasn't been proven if it does anything or not. Although I could have swore I've heard some scientists saying that it does help.
Sure. I don't know how it couldn't.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, get some fresh blood in there.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea. Then let's take the old people's blood and donate it to the people at the hospital who are asking me to donate blood. I'm solving problems here. Okay. And then you get that like uber rich elite blood going into, like the homeless dude. Mm-hmm. Maybe that helps him out somehow. I don't know. I don't know how all that works. I'm not from Kentucky. I don't know science.
Yeah.
So.
It's not like Ambrosia is not a terrible name, but I would want to brand it something like Vampire.
Rejuvenate.
Rejuvenate.
Rejuvenate's a great
good.
Name. That's also could be a good name for like a hip modern church,
And you could have like a little cartoon vampire as your company mascot, your logo.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rejuvenate. Now you can't go outside of the sun anymore and look at yourself in the mirror. But come on down to Rejuvenate. Yeah. Turn back the clock. We're having our turn back the clock sale this week down at Rejuvenate. You get 2 liters for $12,000. This works. Let's make it happen.
Let's do it.
I don't know what we got to do, but somebody we know can figure all that out and just let us, just sponsor us.
Give us money.
Yeah, just give us money
for free.
That's it's been my whole goal all my whole life. It's just for somebody rich to give me money for nothing. Okay, so this next story that I have has a little bit of sensitive material in it. So,
okay.
I don't know. You got to put the countdown in there because I'll ramble here for a little bit so
Right.
people can get their kids out of the way. But the first thing I want to say about the story is that it says that this kid is on LSD, and I would just like to inform everyone that this is not how LSD works. He was not on LSD. He may have admitted he was on LSD, but he's definitely not on LSD. Okay, so that's number one. Let's get that out of the way. All right.
Okay.
So the headline reads: "Tripping teen went on a school groping spree." This is from January 24th, very recent. A 15-year-old student, apparently tripping on LSD, groped the breast of 3 school staffers. Now, let me just say right here, it's good to see a kid groping the female staffers, instead of the female staffers groping the kids. That's normally been happening here a lot lately.
He's turning the tables.
He also tried to strangle a nurse with her stethoscope while yelling, "I'm an Avenger."
Okay, well, now that's not cool.
No, yeah. And that's all according to a police report who charged the juvenile with an assortment of crimes, including assault and gross sexual imposition.
Huh.
The teenager's meltdown, cops say, occurred last Wednesday morning at Liberty High School in Liberty Township, just outside of Youngstown. I'm assuming this is Youngstown, Ohio. It doesn't say
right
in the article. The student first grabbed a female teacher's
chesticles.
Yeah, her boobies. Roughly and in a painful manner, prompting her to scream for help while telling the boy, "Do not touch me." Then the teen fled the building, but was brought back inside by a school resource officer. All right, that was error number 1. All right. All right, let me think how to word this next one. After mumbling about big boobs and making incoherent comments, the student then pushed a school secretary against the wall and grabbed her breast and butt. "Come here," blank, the boy announced before pawing the woman, according to the Liberty Township Police Department report. As the resource officer struggled to handcuff the student, he lunged at the school principal and aggressively groped her as well.
Golly.
The student was eventually placed into the rear of a police cruiser,
Which is where he belongs.
where he licked the vehicle's windows, kicked through the partition window.
Dang.
And then,
I thought cop cars were built to where you couldn't do that.
And then he told the paramedics that he had taken LSD and later claimed that the hallucinogenic drug was provided to him by his dog. Solid hookup by the dog, by the way. Solid hookup. While being examined at a Youngstown hospital, the teen began yelling, "I'm an Avenger," and allegedly tried to strangle a female nurse with her stethoscope. Earlier, he had yelled, "Big Johnson" and "big boobs" at police officers. He was subsequently transported to local juvenile justice center, where he was detained on assault, vandalism, resisting arrest, and gross sexual imposition charges. The teen's vaping device was seized by cops and sent to a police lab to be tested for possible narcotics. So, kids, this is what vaping gets you right here. Just go ahead and stop.
You said that you don't believe.
I don't believe he's on LSD.
As a former drug user yourself, that this is not LSD. Here.
No, I don't think so.
What do you think? What do you think this guy was on?
I don't know, like bath salts or something. You're not really aggressive on LSD.
Right.
You know, I don't have any experience personally or with anyone I know or in any group setting I've ever been in where anyone was aggressive on it.
Right.
Now, there's a lot of different things you could take. It could be a combination of like LSD and ecstasy, and maybe that didn't mix right in him or whatever. People have been known to do that. I'm throwing ecstasy out there because he seemed to be real handsy, you know. real handsy. So, you know, that could be it. I'm thinking more along the lines of like bath salts, or, you know, it's like that synthetic weed that came through a while back.
Maybe it was horny goat weed.
Oh, definitely could be. You can get that for like 75 cents at the Mapco bathroom, by the way. Doesn't work like I thought it would. Man.
You didn't go on a groping spree.
It didn't work like I thought it would. I'll just say that much. All right. Thought it would help me out a little bit more than it did. Didn't even get a good buzz. But anyways, so I'm thinking maybe like when all that synthetic weed came through, you know, like they outlawed it here in town, but you could buy it like at a gas station or at like the tobacco shop or whatever. From what I'm told, I never did anything. I never did it. I do real drugs before I did fake drugs. But that was well beyond my years of doing all that.
You're like, that might as well be Diet Coke. Get that crap out of here.
But it was like, it was basically just like a combination of chemicals, you know, like sprayed onto whatever, sage or whatever it was.
Right.
And so people had some really, really bad experiences with that. So maybe it was something like that. I don't know. I'm out of the loop. I don't know what all new drugs there are now, you know?
Right.
But I'm fairly confident he wasn't on LSD. I'm fairly confident.
Well, you know, and I hate to bring this up, but do you remember the Miami Zombie?
Yeah.
You know, everybody was saying he was on bath salts.
Right.
And I'll put this out there because I didn't know this until I did some research. But when you hear bath salts, they're not talking about the stuff you take a bath with.
Okay.
This is just like a street name for a drug.
Right.
Yeah, a street drug. But, you know, when his toxicology came back, he had THC.
Oh.
Which is horrifying because you and I both know that like weed don't make you eat the face off somebody.
No, right.
So
there was other things.
There was something else
that's not showing up in a toxicology report.
It's either not showing up in a toxicology report or he was just an evil dude.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Right. Yeah. I mean, that definitely
that's
could be
that's definitely the most terrifying.
Well,
option.
You know, what's it called? MK Ultra. That's probably what all that is. Yeah. Right. You know, but I just don't see this kid being on LSD. Not that I'm like advocating that LSD is a peace love drug or anybody should, you know, you're going to be safe and not grope anyone on LSD. You know, don't go using LSD.
You're more likely to jump off a roof thinking you can fly like the Spider-Man comic.
Not really. Not really, though. You know?
Well, now, wait a minute. I remember when I was in 5th grade, I read a comic book where Spider-Man saved a kid that did that.
And maybe this kid's on angel dust, you know, like that's what's that PCP, you know? I can see how if you're already messed up, you could get your initials mixed up.
Yeah.
So PCP, maybe. I don't know.
All this to say, don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah, definitely don't do drugs. First of all, why are you listening to this segment anyways? I gave a warning to begin with. But secondly, don't do drugs. And especially don't do drugs at school. Yeah. You know, I had...
Have you never watched 21 Jump Street?
Well, I pulled up to drop Thomas off at middle school the other day, and there were a bunch of police officers there. And I was like, hey, man, what's going down at your school? And he's like, I don't know. And because he never knows anything. He's a 13-year-old boy, you know. And I was like, well, maybe they're running the drug dogs through the halls, you know. Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh, well, they'll catch some people. And I was like, look, Thomas, I'm going to tell you this right now as your father. Never do drugs ever. I will kill you if you do drugs. I was like, but if you choose to do drugs, do not take them to school with you. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. It's the worst move you can make. All right.
That's about as dumb as laying down in a road watching the lunar eclipse.
Yes, right. So, but of course, Thomas was like, well, I'm not going to do drugs. I'm like, that's great, little buddy. I said the same things once, you know. So, I mean, let's just hope you don't. Let's hope you take more take after your mom and not your dad. She appears to, so that's good.
Well, let's finish on a strong note here.
Okay.
Senate bill would ban dwarf tossing at bars in Washington state.
What?
The Washington State Senate has introduced a bill to ban dwarf tossing.
This is why we need government out of our lives right here. Okay?
Okay.
Don't tread on my dwarf.
Dwarf tossing contestants would be banned in Washington State under a bill sponsored by State Senator Mike Padden. Senate Bill 5846 would ban dwarf tossing at bars and strip clubs and end the activity, which Padden says demeans and exploits those of smaller stature.
Okay, so taking off your clothes for money is good. That's totally cool.
That's not demeaning.
That's not demeaning at all.
Not demeaning.
Not demeaning at all. But if we pick up a kid,
If you think about it, it's empowering.
I guess it really is. Like someone explained it to me one time. I was like, that's not erotica, that's commerce.
People have only paid me to put clothes on.
Yeah, right. I don't even take my clothes off in front of a mirror. Yeah. I don't even want to look at myself naked.
Sorry for the mirror.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Says this bill would also ban other recreational activity that endangers the health, safety, and welfare of any person with dwarfism. Patton said he became interested when someone made him aware of a dwarf tossing contest last October at a strip club in Spokane Valley.
Wow.
Quote,
sounds like a classy joint.
quote, "There's nothing funny about dwarf tossing," Patton said. Don't laugh. There's nothing funny about it.
Okay. I'll give him that. Nothing funny about it at all.
People who are advocates for little people note that persons with dwarfism are particularly susceptible to spine and neck injuries. Good point.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'd like to see some safety precautions taken care of. Yeah. Put some padding down, maybe some helmets.
Yeah.
I got you.
It ridicules and demeans people with dwarfism and causes others to think of them as objects of public amusement. Even when participants are willing, it exposes them to the possibility of a lifetime spinal injury.
Yeah, we don't want that.
No, we don't want that. Dwarf tossing is an offense to our sensibilities, Patton added. Patton's legislation applies to contests and promotions involving adults shorter than 4 foot 10 inches in height. A hearing on the bill is set for 10 a.m. January 31st before the Senate Law and Justice Committee. So,
now what about dwarf wrestling?
That's a good.
Have you ever seen dwarves wrestle?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I've seen
dwarves. Like the state. Of course. You act offended. Like, absolutely, I've seen it. Of course, I have.
Have you ever heard of Netflix? It's like,
I was talking like, you get like the state fair when like, the Mike Anderson wrestling show comes through.
Yeah.
And they'll have like a dwarf match. Can they toss each other? Can a dwarf toss
not in
another
Washington
dwarf?
State.
Okay. I got a lot of questions. And how can we tell an adult that he can't consent to getting tossed?
Well, I mean, yeah, because it says right here in this article that even, consenting individuals would be banned from the activity.
Exactly.
So
that doesn't seem very American.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I get where they're going with it. I'm sure there's a lot of ridicule. It's got to be tough being a dwarf for a little person.
Yeah.
I have no experience of very few interactions with people who have been that way.
Right.
But, so, I can imagine it's really tough. They get drunk really quick, by the way.
Well, also, I mean, like you were talking about, I mean, like you said, I can't imagine being in that boat and the ridicule that you have to deal with and the looks from people and the stares and all that stuff. But then, like, your dwarf brethren are out there lining up for this kind of thing.
Right. It's got to be good money.
Your problem has got to be with them.
Yeah.
Most of all, don't it?
Yeah.
I mean.
But to me, like, if you're a dwarf and you're like, look, all these people think I'm weird, but I'm about to make $1,000 off of them by letting them throw me around.
Yeah.
Who's the dumb one here?
Right.
The people that think I'm weird, or me putting cash in my pocket and going on about my life?
Yeah.
I don't know. But I've never been to a dwarf tossing. I don't know what it's like.
I've never been to any kind of.
Right. We have the mullet toss at the Floribama. That's about the closest thing we can get to it around here.
Yeah, I've never been to anything. I didn't know this existed until I read this article.
Oh, I've heard it. I've heard about it before, but I've never seen it. Never seen it advertised.
I would like to say that regardless of how this, if this bill gets passed or not, any dwarves out there who may happen to listen to this, take precautions. Don't just let somebody toss you because.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're a dwarf and you listen to this podcast, number one, thank you for listening.
Yeah.
All right. Number two, maybe call us in and tell us your thoughts on it. And number three, maybe see if you can get on with Kid Rock, because, I mean, he's got a soft spot in his heart. We've seen it. He had what's the kid's name? Josie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See if we can get into his act. You ain't got to even worry about dwarf tossing.
So.
And then we get Kid Rock on the show.
But before you do that, like, educate us.
Yeah,
because
right. I really just want to know.
We need to know. We are ignorant, and we
Yes.
need to know things.
I did correct my kid because he used the M word the other night.
I did not know that word until
that's totally cool. Not
a
cool.
couple years ago.
Yeah.
I didn't know that word was offensive.
Not cool.
So I don't use it. That's why I said
right.
dwarf tossing
Yeah.
and not
Yeah.
what they actually call it.
Yeah. No, we don't want to. We're not here to offend anybody.
No.
You know, we want to love everybody, and I think that if you want to do it, you should be able to do it. I don't know that we need a law for it. As in, you can just say, "Hey guys, no, I'm not signing up to be tossed by people because they're going to make fun of me." But if you were like my personality, I'd be like, "I'm about to clean up on some cash here, and then go home and live the rest of my life, and I'm not going to worry about all."
Do you think this activity is something that would be driven underground, and all of a sudden you've got these underground dwarf tossing competitions popping up?
Maybe so, like cockfighting,
or like Fight Club.
Oh yeah, or Fight Club. Yeah, my mom went to cockfighting for some reason. Like I'm a redneck, of course.
The first rule of dwarf tossing is you don't talk about dwarf tossing.
That's very true.
And the second rule of dwarf tossing is you don't talk about dwarf tossing.
What's his name? Tyler
Durden.
Tyler Durden. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tyler Dwarfin. Yeah. That's, I don't know. I mean, I imagine kind of like with the Saints guy, there's probably bigger things on the plate we need to be taken care of before we worry about dwarf tossing or bad calls in the NFL game. Like maybe let's solve the homeless problem. Let's get that taken care of, and then we'll worry about the next thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But, whatever. I don't know. I haven't walked a mile in dwarf shoes, so I don't know what their experience is like. I can't make a judgment for them. So
I'll say that a mile in dwarf shoes is a lot more steps than a normal mile.
That's not cool, man. That's not cool. We just talked about loving everybody.
I'm just saying.
Their stride is shorter. That's the scientific fact. That's science, right?
I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It'd be tough squeezing it in the little shoes, too. Yeah. But like I was saying, I don't know. There were some dwarfs at Alabama when I was at Alabama. And they get drunk like really, really fast, because they're like half the size of me, and I'm a small dude, Somebody take me 12 beers to get drunk. They're drunk off of like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And I mean like super drunk.
Just like wasted.
Yeah. But they're still adults.
Yeah.
So they can go get another beer if they want one. Yeah. Which is really weird to me. Like maybe we should make their blood alcohol level a little less than mine. They're subject to the same law as I am.
Maybe we should serve them 6-ounce cans.
Yeah, right. That's wrong, man. That's wrong. Golly, Johnny. You're so cold-hearted.
I'm a problem solver.
So cold-hearted. But yeah, I'm just saying like...
It would be half price.
What's legal to drive in Alabama? I don't know because I don't drink and drive. But it's like 0.8 or something. Yeah, so they could be at 0.8 and go drive. And they're way drunker than I am, right?
Right.
Yeah, so we need to change that. Too. I don't know. I'm not trying to persecute the dwarfs, though.
Yeah. All right.
My favorite Tolkien characters, dwarfs, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah. They were mean with them axes.
Absolutely. Totally. They would handle some business.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right. Are we, is that all the news?
That's all the news that's fit to print.
It's some that's not.
That's right. All right, let's talk about Cajun Curl. You know Cajun Curl.
I do.
We all know Cajun Curl. Our audience is buying Cajun Curl left and right. So if you hadn't got on the Cajun Curl train yet, it's time. The train is boarding, and you need to get in your seat, buckle up, and get ready for the ride of your life, okay? World famous Cajun Curl is available at CajunCurl.com. You can order their spice there, or they have a chip cutter too for potatoes, so you can make your own homemade potato chips. If you didn't know, Tiny, it was created on the Elm Bayou in Evangeline Parish, Louisiana.
The romantic Elm Bayou?
Yeah, the romantic Elm Bayou. And it's a seasoning that goes on everything. If you like cooking or eating, this is the spice for you. Cajun Curl Bayou Blended Spice goes well with chicken, beef, pork, potatoes, dwarfs, and anything else you can think of putting it on. The spiral potato cutter is absolutely amazing. It's easy to use and it's easy to clean, and it will allow you to make your own chips using the Cajun Curl spice. If you want to turn your next dwarf tossing up a notch, imagine whipping up a batch of your own homemade potato chips. Nobody else at the dwarf tossing is going to have their own homemade potato chips, only you. And if you sprinkle a little bit of that Cajun Curl spice on it, it's going to make all the difference in your life. And you'll be the coolest guy at the party, or gal at the party. On CajunCurl.com, you can not only order the original Bayou blended spice, but the Cajun Curl chip cutter too. And you'll also find recipes there that are absolutely mind-blowing. You can also locate your nearest retailer or order your own spice right off the website, which we recommend to do because you get a discount when you do that by using the promo code EOP10. That's EOP and then the number 10.
Save 10% off your order.
Get 10% off of it.
We ask that you eat the spice. We don't ask you pay full price.
That's right. If your local grocer doesn't carry world-famous Cajun Curl Bayou blended spice, ask them to start stocking it now. Locally here in the Tuscaloosa, Alabama area, if you live here listening, you can go pick it up at these places. Or if you're flying in to visit me and Tiny, you can buy it too at Vowels on Skyland Boulevard, at South's Finest Meats, and Piggly Wiggly in Northport. All of their products are made in the USA, and it's all natural, it's low salt, and it has a little kick to it, but it doesn't burn your lips. World famous Cajun Curl Bayou blended spice. Taste the spice, but not the heat. CajunCurl.com. Check them out and use the promo code EOP10 to get a 10% discount.
All right, for community news, first of all, let me tell everybody good job. Because we've been picking them up here lately.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
We got more in? I hadn't even checked. I just got so disheartened that I just quit looking.
They're coming back, man.
Wow.
And today's review comes from SG Dad Mom. This was posted on January 12th of this year. Says my most hold
on, let's break down that name. Right, SG
Dad Mom.
Okay, I mean
this is probably like a couple's account. Maybe.
You think so?
Maybe
SG Dad Mom. Yeah, maybe so.
Maybe so.
Gender's a social construct. We all know that, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So
you can be whatever you want to be now.
Rated 5 stars. My most trusted source for weird news. It's amazing how Tiny and John are able to take strange stories and inject them with an uncanny amount of humor to the point where they have become one of the podcasts I look forward to every week.
Ooh.
Except for that one they missed. Thanks a lot, John. And by John, fans know I really mean Tiny.
I took the blame for that.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Again, that was John's fault.
All my fault.
I didn't format the card that day in the digital audio recorder.
Honest mistake that happens to me once a week.
Once every now and never.
Once a year, actually.
Yeah. Whether you want stories about vampire facials, politicians into illicit Bigfoot paraphernalia, or stories about John's life, check out this very odd production. You'll be thankful for listening.
There you go.
Thank you so much, SG Dad Mom, for rating us 5 stars. If you would like to go and leave a review, and all we ask is that you rate us 5 stars. You can call me an idiot. You can make fun of us. You can do like SG Dad Mom did and uplift us. Just whatever. All we ask is that it's 5 stars, and we'll read it here on the show. And literally dozens of adoring fans will hear your words. So,
oh wow, there's a really good one here. Oh man, you guys are doing great with this. Wow.
You want to go for 2? You want to go for 2 this week?
Let's do another one up. Let's just keep going.
Yeah. Hit it, John.
All right. So this one comes. This is Thursday.
That's super recent.
Yes. Just Extra put it in. And it's rated 5 stars. The title of the review is Southern Monstrosity with 4 exclamation points. Can't stand this podcast. This is the worst case of vocal banner I have ever heard. These 2 guys, who should really call themselves Tiny and Tinier, are a menace to podcasting and have set back the medium for 10 years. The stories are the most uninteresting, and I can see why their wives don't want to come on the show. It's an embarrassment.
Solid point.
I gotta give that one to you. Whew, that was painful to type, but you guys said you wanted the worst review with a 5-star rating, so here you go. But seriously, I'm never disappointed in the weirdness of your stories, of the stories you guys find, and your commentary has made me scream laughing.
Wow. What is scream laughing? Is that like, ha?
Yeah, I would imagine like
the goat.
Yeah. Yes. The banter between you both is like sitting with the crazy cousins and being silly. It feels like home listening to you guys, and I love it. I get so excited when I see in my podcaster that a new episode is downloaded. Please keep up the great work, and on the next episode, offer up some sweet tea. Let's add a little bit of Southern hospitality like your mama's taught you.
There we go. Smiley face emoticons.
Oh, yeah. Smiley face, smiley. No, we got a winky
face.
Then a smiley. And
then a laughing face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm not up on my emoticons like I should be. But thank you so much. Just Extra. Solid screen name, by the way. I like that. Yeah, it means a lot. And I'm glad you took to heart giving us a bad review. That was cool. Because when I first read, before I expanded it, I was like, oh man, this person is killing us.
Clever how you type it down enough to where someone doesn't see the rest of it until you hit the see more.
So when a random stranger looks at it, they're like, this is rated 5 stars, but it looks really horrible.
Again, all we ask is 5 stars.
That's right. Yes. We have 60 ratings so far. Now, 400 to 500 people listen to this show every week. We have 60 ratings. All right. And only one of them is below 5 stars. And that's Big Buck Down. I remember you, Big Buck Down, whoever you are out there. Yeah. I remember you. All right. A little touchy about your pizza, but whatever.
You have been listening to Earth Oddity Podcast. We thank you so much for listening to us, no matter where you get us, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio. We're on them all.
We're everywhere.
If you would like to email the show, you can email us at earthoddity@planetmail.net. If you would like to tweet at us, which, hey, I got to be honest with you, we don't have much of a Twitter following, but I've really been up in the Twitter game here lately.
Get in on the ground floor.
Get in on it. We are at _EarthOddity. Do you like to look at pictures? Sometimes we post pictures.
Oh, yeah. And videos.
Every once in a while. You can see those pictures. We are _EarthOddity on Instagram.
I'm about to post a picture right now.
And if you would like to call the show and leave us a voicemail, you can do that at
662-493-2059.
What's that number?
662-493-2059. Look, thanks for listening. Make sure you tell a friend about this episode. You have to know one friend who would enjoy this episode. Tell them all about it. Ask them to listen so you have something to talk about. Leave us a review, too.
Earth Oddity for the Fringe Radio Network signing off.
Love y'all.
Bye.
This has been a very odd production. Thanks for listening.